Alright, hello everybody, this is Ethan from Other Than Ethan Productions, and today we're going to be reviewing the figurized standard Gogeta Blue, or Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Gogeta, as they say on the box. But from now on I will be referring to him as Gogeta Blue, even though at the moment he's in his base form. So, let's get into this. I'll move away the box for a second. Let's start with articulation. So, let's start with the feet and go up. Now, Gogeta is my favorite fusion, but that does not mean he's free from criticism. Let's start from the feet and go up. And so, from here, he has a up and down in the foot, respectable amount. So he can rotate his foot like this. He's got a boot cut rotation, same on the other foot. He's got a knee joint, very good. It's, looks good because it has this cover up here. It makes it better when you unbend the knee if you want him squatting or something. Then up at the hip, you have this. It can go up, down, out. He can splay out quite a lot, but it kind of starts to look awkward then. Put that back together. He has a chest swivel like this. He has up and down in the head as well as side to side. A little bit of problem with going up because he hits the back of his fusion like collar. Then in the arms, he has a up and a down. Forward, backwards, roll here, bend here, and a small ball joint in the fist. Now, he poses really well. One last thing. On his belt, he has this sort of tie off to the side, and these can go up and down. Very good for when you're posing him in action. You can have it flying upwards. But now that I've covered all the articulation, I believe that is what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, about 17 points of articulation, or 18 if you count this. A very respectable amount. But now let's move on to everything that's included besides Gogeta himself. So, you get a Super Saiyan Blue head. Pull that in a little closer. Super Saiyan Blue. A screaming Super Saiyan Blue face. Blast hands. A Kamehameha charge effect, a final flash effect, a Kamehameha effect, a base, effect base, let me get his base form head off so you can truly see everything included. Base form head, screaming base form head. I'll get into an issue with that base form head in a second. A Big Bang attack, which is, I'll get into that in a second as well, which comes with these sort of little not tendril, but like streamer parts, I guess you could say, for the Big Bang attack. But with this base form head, like I was saying, I had an issue. Bandai, if you're watching this, include 2 sets of tongue stickers, because yeah, I dropped the tongue sticker while putting this together and lost it. So until I paint this, I can't pose him screaming with his base head. Not that I'm going to, but when I get my Figuarts Gogeta Blue, I will definitely be posing this guy in base. Just wanted to point that out. Be careful with the stickers. Very frustrating. The blue head has a very nice metallic blue for the hair. The bang. It's very defined. You can see all the lines, and it's very well molded all the way around. As I said, it's a figure. It's a model kit, so there are some lines in the hair. A little bit of molding issues back there. Just looks a little strange since it's blue. You can see it very well. This is his, normal face, like he just went blue. He does look a little bit stern, though. I wish he had a bit more of a casual face. He does come with a lot, but his faces are a little bit lacking, honestly. So you pull this off, and then put his screaming head on for when he's fighting Big Bad Broly. That's how I pose him on my shelf. I think it looks very good. Now, let's get... one last thing I forgot. You probably already saw these, but I technically have to include them because people would be angry if I didn't. He has fists as well. I already showed him posed with those, but just to show you. Let's get all these body parts out of the way, so the faces and such. The hands as well. Get these out of the way, and we'll get on to the effect parts. One of my favorite things about this. So, one of my favorite things is how many effects this guy comes with, because you can use these on your other figures as well. Let's start with the smallest and go to the largest. So this is a Kamehameha charge, and again, this is my first model kit, so a word of fair warning. While I was taking this out, one of these broke. I actually prefer it this way because it's very easy to pull it in close to the body while they're charging it. Looks very good though. Catches the light really well, and it has a smaller ball in the middle. I think this looks great. The final flash, or just a ki blast, if you will, is very good. I love this base part to it. It looks very powerful, like there's a lot of energy coming out of the hand. It's very thin. It looks like it'd just be a quick ki blast, you know, and it just quite hasn't disconnected from the hand yet. A very good piece. This is how I had him posed for a while, but now he's charging the full force Kamehameha. You'll get that if you see the movie and listen to the soundtrack. The Big Bang Attack. No, I'll save this for later. The Kamehameha looks very good, but be careful with these pieces. They are very thin and will break very easily if you're not careful. But it looks very good. It looks very powerful. Like it's a bunch of energy just hitting something all at once. So he can, not kill Broly. Spoiler alert. You shouldn't be watching this if you haven't seen the movie yet. But definitely looks like something that would be able to beat Broly. And now the problem child of this whole set, the Big Bang Attack. If you'll notice, there's already some cracks in it. That's because when I tried to pose him with this, it doesn't stay in the stand all that well. So you put these on, and then you attach one in the top like this. Then from there, you slide this on, and if you'll notice, it doesn't fit at all, and it falls every time. Every time. I cannot pose him with this. For some reason, this just is okay. So, again, this does not stay in, like, at all. It's just not a great effect part. It doesn't look that great either, in my opinion. It's just a big ball, and it's supposed to be the Big Bang Attack, right? So why is it yellow? Like, God Vegeta, like, when Vegeta was Super Saiyan God, he used a red sort of Big Bang Attack, but this is yellow. It should be blue. But, hey, whatever. It's a nice effect part if you want to have, like, I don't know, Cell or something shooting off a ki blast, because his is... Alright, so, as I was saying, let's go over the accessories one last time before we finish this up. So, Kamehameha charge effect, very good, very high quality. Again, be careful when you're taking it out or you will break a piece off. Not the end of the world, it actually makes it easier to pose with. Then, we have the final flash. Doesn't quite look big enough or meaty enough to be the final flash to me, or like, wide or impactful enough. Looks more just like a ki blast, like, you're flying and you have to hit the enemy, so you just throw out a quick ki blast. A great piece. I love this base part. It's very nice with all the electricity coming off of it. Then we have the Kamehameha, another great piece. A little short, but it just looks short due to all these panels. Again, these panels are a little iffy, but they all connect really well, and it looks great, especially for posing him like fighting Broly or something. Then it'd look great. And for the worst effect part is easily the Big Bang Attack. This thing sucks. These cracks are from it falling off of my shelf. It doesn't sit on the stand at all. Mine might be a defect, but this thing just, it's not great. These are cool, but I wish it just looks awkward just having 3 of them. Like, I kind of wish there were more not straight, like they were kind of curvy, so you could have it sort of look like it's spinning through the air, but not a great piece. So let's put Gogeta together. Let's have him go blue this time. And I'll show some poses that I quite like. One of them will be the Kamehameha charge effect, and I'll go over one of the issues with posing this guy. Alright, so we'll pose up Gogeta doing a charged Kamehameha first. Then I'll try and pose him firing it. There's something on my hand, sorry. Hope that doesn't show up on camera too much. So, what I would do is that's the issue I'm going to talk about in a minute here. I'd do it like this, turn his head like this, then I'd bend his knees. This is just like a very basic pose, but I think it looks really good. Have him like this. Actually, I'm going to have him looking the other way. Have it like this. And then take the Kamehameha charge and put it right in there. Squeeze the hands together once you have it in the position you want, and it should stay pretty well. You're going to want to make sure his feet are nice and flat, make sure his stance isn't too wide so he doesn't fall over. And there you have Gogeta doing the Kamehameha. Maybe the full force one that he was going to, defeat Broly with. But now, see, this is a very simple pose to get him into, not too bad. I think it looks good. With the right lighting, it looks really good, in my opinion. I have him on my shelf like this, actually. But now let's try and have him fire the Kamehameha. So, but first, no, let's pose him. Try and pose him first. So like this. Then you put it like this. Whoops, hand came out. That's no good. Put it like this. And that's the issue. These, what are they called? Like cuffs, I guess, on his vest. They're not really attached that well, so they just sort of flop off. They should have been hinged like his belt is. It's not impossible to get him into these poses, but it's really annoying with these things because they pop up constantly. You're going to want to keep his arms low down and then like this. That's pretty much the best you're going to get him in. I can probably raise his arms a little bit, but not too much because then they'll get too far apart. This is not very good, not the greatest design. I'm sure with some modeling glue you could get him to stay down constantly, but then you might restrict posing a little bit. This is about as good as it's going to get. Pose it like this, bend his arms a little bit more. It looks awkward. It does not look that good. It's just they didn't design the cuffs very well on his vest. So I wouldn't recommend this pose, but to show you what it looks like, hold on, I have to put the stand in the Kamehameha, get it to the right height, because this can be moved up height-wise. As you see here, it's, sorry Gogeta, I gotta move you out of the way. I wouldn't recommend doing it with the stand in something, but you take it, come on Gogeta, stand up. You start to Broly, you can stand up to this. But have him, oh, that's not good. Get it posed up like that. You can pull this out and you can put it at any one of these rungs. He is pretty tall. I'll show him next to a SH Figure Arts in a second, but this is usually the height that I have it at. When he's using it, when I have the Figure Arts using it, I have to have it at the lowest setting because he's in a different scale. So just slot it in right like that, and Gogeta falls over. Technical difficulties, people. There we go, set it up like that. Get his head right. I'm gonna take this off and reattach it. Oh my god, I am just being clumsy right now. Hold on a second, hold on a second. Slide that in. I'm gonna put this off to the side while I pose Gogeta. Oh my god, I'm just... There, okay. Technical difficulties. Alright, so slide this off. This one's attached much better. I don't know why they didn't use this mechanism back here on the front. Maybe it'd be too restrictive for posing. So you set it up like this, then slot these over, but like, why didn't they just have this be a hinge so it can rotate? I don't understand. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but there has to be some technical reason. I don't know how this got past testing. This is not that good. I do not like the way they had that set up. But once you have it like that, then you bring the Kamehameha over and drop it again. Why do I keep dropping this? The stand doesn't have the widest base, so it's not the most stable thing. And then sort of reposition his hands with the Kamehameha. And there you go. Doesn't look that good, does it? At least not to me, it doesn't. Maybe I can pull the hands close. Well, I'm telling you guys, this is a good figure, but no figure's perfect when it comes to posing. There we go. That's great. Did it crack it? I hope not. I keep knocking this over. They really should have made this base wider if they want to use something like this on top of it. And there you go. That's essentially what a basic Kamehameha pose would look like. Let me put him more in the center of frame. There you go. Looks all right. I don't think it looks the best, honestly. I'll show you another way to pose him, because this is not that good. And I don't... If you guys know a way to, like, fix this, I'd love to know it, so put it in the comments section. But, yeah, he was leaning on that. The way I prefer to pose him when I'm not having him charge the Kamehameha is by popping his hand out. No, I don't know why that keeps happening. It's strange. It hasn't happened that much in the weeks I've had this figure. But oh, Jesus. Whoopsies. Pull this out. It's a little annoying because of the sort of crown effect here. I wish they put the effect stand, instead of here, put it here. It'd be much better, easier to, pose up. But you take the final flash, this dinky little beam, then you attach it like that, like this, replace one of his hands with a fist. Oh, that's the wrong hand. Here we go. Do that. Have his arm cocked back, knock over the final flash, because for some reason I'm just being super clumsy. Have him outstretch his arm, sort of like this, and turn his head, have his belt flying up in the background. Hold on, I get his legs right. Come on. Bend his knees a little bit. And make this taller. Maybe not that tall. Well, it is rotated. Hold on. I think this looks much better than the Kamehameha. Looks like he's shooting off a... Okay, hold on. Let's get it more like this. It's easier to pose when I'm looking straight on at him. Pose like that, I think looks much better, honestly. It keeps him a bit cleaner, and it doesn't have the annoying cuffs popping up. It shows off the whole figure. You can really use all of his articulation here. You can use the cut in his boots to make him... Oh, Kamehameha charges in the way. It allows you to have this powerful looking beam, have his arm cocked back, and have his belt tie flying up in the back. I think it looks great, personally, but still my favorite way is to charge him with the Kamehameha charge. Now, if you don't want to pose him in blue, so say like Goku and Vegeta just fused, maybe you could do it like this instead. Oh, Gogeta does the splits, everybody. Maybe have him sort of like this, sort of like when he first showed up in the movie, when he was talking to Piccolo about what his name should be. He said, it'd be much cooler if we had a name. Get these off screen. Put his fist in. Put his black hair on with the straight face. And have him looking off to the side. I think this is a great way to pose him. I don't think screaming with his base hair on would be that good, mainly because when he was fighting in base form, he was just kind of messing around with Broly. He wasn't really fighting. He was just blocking all his blasts. And, you know, he really wasn't fighting him. He was just sort of toying with Broly. But, basically, have him like this, looking off to the side, maybe looking up, have him with his hand on his hip. I think this is a great way to pose him. And I would have him cross his arms, like when he talked to Frieza when he was stuck in the wall, but I don't think I could get it like that. Let's try. We're doing it live, people. It might look a little bit awkward. It's not bad, actually. Doesn't look great. If you had a crossed arm piece, it'd look much better. But it's not awful. It's not too bad, actually. If I could just get his arms to cross a bit more, and then you'd probably want him on a stand with his belt tie flying upwards. You'd probably want it like this. Sort of, God, I hate these cuffs. Why did they do them like this? They have no way of really staying down, and it really inhibits posing, but I'd maybe just have him standing like this with his... I just wish he had a smirk face. It'd make him much more posable, honestly. But I think he's fine, just without it, but I understand why they didn't include it. He has 4 different effect parts, plus a stand. This must have not been a cheap figure to produce. Now, one issue I've had is here on his fusion jacket, this piece, the connection, I don't know if you can see that very well, it snapped inside, so I'm going to have to get modeling glue to fix that, which is kind of annoying since my modeling glue is all dried up because I haven't used it in so long. I used to, build Warhammer models, so that's why I still had it, but it's all dried up since then. Anyways, I would give this figure a solid... maybe an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. Part of it is just because I love Gogeta. I think he's a really cool character. His fight against Broly is one of my favorite in all of Dragon Ball. And he just comes with a bunch of stuff. Like, if you get this guy and, like, an SH Figure Arts, you have a bunch of accessories you can not only pose Gogeta with, but you can also pose the other figures with. Most Figurizes come with 1 or 2 accessories. He comes with 4. Like, I can't understand how much stuff this guy actually comes with. So despite the tongue stickers being very annoying to apply if you don't have the right tool, I'm probably just going to end up painting his mouth anyways. I might paint him a little later down the line. He comes with 2 sets of hands, which is a low amount, a bit rough. His blue head I think looks really good. I really like the metallic blue it has. It reminds me a lot of sort of, I don't want to say Evolution Blue, but Evolution Blue Vegeta. With just lighter hair, because in that form his hair's a little bit dark, but it's really shiny. But I think he looks really good with his blue hair on. He has 3 really good effects and 1 effect that's maybe just a lemon, but man, mine sucks. This thing is bad. It's really bad. But he does come with it, if you can find a way to use that. Tell me if mine's just a defect, because if it is, I'll willingly accept this as a good thing. It doesn't look that great, but Kamehameha looks great. The Final Flash, again, I don't get why the Final Flash shouldn't be... Oh, whoops. Uh-oh. Hold on, technical difficulties. Here we go. Let me take this off the stand. The stand is great. It allows for different heights and different figures to use these. Let me slot this together like that. That's right. Yep. I don't get why this is the Final Flash. It's so dinky. It should be wider. The thing with the Final Flash is it's a really powerful attack. It blew half of Cell off when he was weaker than Cell. This is the thickness of the Kamehameha. This is the thickness of the Final Flash. It just feels wrong. This should just been called a Ki Blast, or they should have made it wider. Like thicker in the beam itself. But overall, a great effect part. I love this base. It looks really good. I feel you could really do some good impacts with this if you turned it around and you just had someone punching someone with this. It'd look really good. And then the Kamehameha charge. It's just a great universal piece to come with anything. You can pose pretty much any Saiyan with it except Vegeta or Trunks, and it'll look good. I'd say it's not quite as... It looks better, like the ball itself looks better than the SH Figure Arts one, but the lights coming off of it aren't. They're not quite as long, but I don't think it's a bad thing. It looks really good. It looks less like a cheese ball. But anyways, so this is everything included with the figure. And I think this is a great value. If you're a collector, even if you don't like Gogeta, I'd pick it up mostly just for the effect parts, and he's a great figure. If you don't like him, you don't have to build him. I mean, I would, but I just really like Gogeta. Ever since I saw Fusion Reborn, this guy's been my favorite Fusion. Sorry, Vegito. Gogeta was just such a cool character in Fusion Reborn. Even though he only showed up for 3 minutes. Just the Stardust Breaker, or Soul Punisher, or it's technically God Punisher now, is just such a cool attack. I wish that instead of this, they included a God Punisher, which is the Stardust Breaker, the Soul Punisher, whatever you want to call it. If they included that, that would have been amazing. But overall, a great figure with a great value. I got this guy for $35 on eBay when he first dropped, which is great. I mean, it took me about an hour to build him. With all these parts, it's just a great figure. There's obvious cons. The cuffs on the side should have just been 1 part, honestly, and had them articulate in the back instead of having them be 2. He has a little bit of trouble looking up, but not too much. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The rest of his articulation is amazing. Well, to wrap things up, I'm Ethan from Other Than Ethan Productions, signing off.